Hi, my name is Albert Thomas, and I am one of the founding members of Trade Coin Club. And today we have an amazing opportunity to speak with one of the people that has 99.999% of the information. But because we want to facilitate an ease of transition for you into this company, into the best position for yourself, we're going to go back and forth and ask questions of each other as if we were learning about this. So that way some of your questions will be answered and you won't have to constantly help others other than to refer them to this video. So Mr. Joff Paradise is a good friend of mine, and I'm excited to introduce you to him. Hello, Mr. Joff.
Hi, good afternoon and good evening and good day, everyone.
Alrighty.
Hi, Albert. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, sir. So one of the things that I know to be true of people is if they have 100% of the information, it's easy to make a decision. However, not everybody is the same. So some people can make decisions by just jumping in both feet and they learn as they go. But there are those select few, right, that need all the information. So hopefully we'll be able to provide some of those answers today, right?
Hope so.
Alrighty. So the first thing that I think that we should talk about is the fees that are involved, because this is a legitimate company, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. It's licensed, insured. We're an offshore company, so this even makes it better for offshore. For those of you that know your major Vortex companies, they are offshore owned also. So you want to make sure that's very important, by the way.
Absolutely, that sounds great. So maybe we'll be able to have a video specifically on offshore businesses and stuff, but we won't go into that here today. So one of the first fees that we want to talk about, and again, this is in the spirit of full disclosure, everything up front, and that way, if you decide that for yourself that you don't want to be involved, you can just not waste your time and allow us the freedom to go and talk with people that are interested. So that's what we're excited to be able to do for you today. So the first fee is a 0.05 Bitcoin. So we're not going to talk dollar amount because the Bitcoin amount is 0.05 is the fee, and the minimum buy-in, if you will, is 0.25. So 0.3 is the exact amount in order to start with our company. Now, Joff, how often will people, based on whatever level, and you can explain the three levels that they get into, how often will they have to pay that 0.05?
Well, Albert, if they come in as an apprentice trader, which is the 0.25, then they come in at an 8-month trading. So
Okay.
they have 8 months to trade, and then at the end of the 8 months, they can decide to take their pile of money, or their pile of Bitcoin, because we're talking Bitcoin now. So they can take their Bitcoin and go home, check out, whatever, cash out, however they want to do it. Or they can pay the 0.05 again, and let's continue. Now here's the thing, Albert. If they stay in, then chances are they're going to go ahead and go up to a trade level because it's actually 0.25 to 0.99. Once they get to 0.99, right over that is one whole Bitcoin. So your goal is to get, of course, to 1 Bitcoin. Well, our system will recognize that, and when it recognizes that, it'll put you automatically up to the trader level. And so now you're on a year. And so once you're on the 1 year, then you have to do, again, it's 12 months of trading. When you're at the end of the 12 months, 249 days, I think, of trading. So once you're at the end of that, then you pay the 0.05 again. And if you go all the way to 0.49, or not point, but 4.99, and as soon as you get to 5, that graduates you up to a senior trader, and that's a 1 year also.
Okay, so that would explain why sometimes if I'm helping somebody and in their back office I see how many days of trade left, mine is different than theirs if they got started at the lower end. And I wasn't understanding that myself, so that kind of went, light bulb came on. So not that that was necessary for me to know, but it makes sense for somebody else that might need to know that. So that's awesome. So also the third fee, I haven't talked about the second fee, but the third fee that I like to talk about, which kind of ties into a little bit about what we were just now talking about, is the cancellation fee, meaning you withdraw your pile early. So that fee doesn't apply then if I complete my term and at that point I pull out, right? Other than an 8%. Okay, go ahead.
Right. That's exactly right. If you complete your term, basically your contract with us, and you keep your Bitcoin in there, now you can pull from your trade, you can pull from your commission, but don't pull from your exchange. As soon as you pull from your exchange, you have 48 hours to reboot and put money back in, or we're going to go ahead and cancel out your agreement. And then Albert will show you the screen and what we're going to talk about next and what will happen. Once that happens, then you need to understand that we've either paid out commissions, and if the TCC company is we've paid out commissions, then you need to understand we are a business for profit. We're not in the money business of giving Bitcoin away. We're in the business of making Bitcoin and leveraging it and against the top 10 cryptocurrencies on the market today. So being as though we're a brick and mortar and have business people we have to pay, we need to make sure that all those commissions have been, if there, any commissions have been paid out, we're going to hold 50%, and Albert will show you that screen here in a second. And once we hold that 50%, then if we paid out up to 45% in commissions, then we're going to pull that back out. And then you'll get the rest in 48 to 72 hours. So it's really still a win-win situation. We just want to make sure we're covered as a business, because then if you just try and pull everything out and you can take off, then what about your 25% that you owe? All those things have to be figured in. So keep in mind that we are a business and we're going to continue to do business. Even with your double authenticator, you have a two-factor authenticator that once you get into your wallet. And as some of you know, you might have some issues trying to get your ID verified. You make sure you hold the ID right here next to your face, and your face literally up to the screen. No background, just your face and a picture. And then you take your driver's license or your passport and put your, you can even take another one with your bill, like a utility bill underneath showing your address. Both addresses and your face have to match. So your face on the ID and the face in the picture has to match. The address on the ID and the address on the bill have to match. If they don't, then you need to figure out how to make it match. And if you didn't put the same address into the computer when you put your address in there, then it's going to throw everything off. So if you're getting frustrated because your IDs aren't getting approved, now you know why. So I've covered that. Now, Albert, I'm going to turn it back over to you because I think you have another couple of little fees that we have to charge. It's just the way business is. But the good part is, I'm going to let you tell them, Albert, because this is a great part coming up.
All right. So basically, another fee that happens is every 4 months, 25% of what the company has made for you is charged or assessed. So basically, in order for you to be charged, you have to make a minimum amount, first of all. And second of all, if you say make $10,000 with us and 25% is $2,500, it's no different than if you made $100 and they charge $25. So dollars aside, I'm going to let Mr. Joff share what the minimum amount you have to make in order to be charged. So go ahead and talk about that.
So we wanted to make a company that was a win-win. So if you don't win, we don't win. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you don't make at least 0.25, you don't pay anything. So the 0.25 you came in with, if you don't double that, we're not going to charge you anything to use the system. We're not going to charge you anything because we didn't make you any money. So think about that. That is a win-win situation. When we created this company, TCC, we created it on a win-win basis. And when you look at the structure and you look at all the PDF, or you look at our pay plan, it's phenomenal. You can actually really make some money, or you can be a passive trader. We have it both sides, and I think it's a wonderful thing. Now tell them how much they get to keep, Albert.
You get to keep 75%. That's what I call the lion's share. So yeah, you want to keep most of it. And then the only other fee that comes to mind right now is that when you withdraw your trade or your commissions, it's not even a fee that we're assessing to make money. It's a fee that we have to charge in order to cover our costs to convert your commissions and send it to your Bitcoin wallet. There's a fee for that. So what is that fee, Mr. Joff?
That's 8%, and 8% is a fair fee, I think. To get to, and I understand that's to get your money out. Yes, it's your money. We made it for you. I get it, but you still keep the rest of it. So it's a pretty fair deal, I think. But you do pay 8% to withdraw. Now, the trick is, if you want to keep it inside the system, then you can roll it over. You can take your trade and your commissions, add them together, and then you can roll that over into your exchange. Once it's rolled into your exchange, then at that point, it just starts to make you more money.
And then
Again, warning here, do not touch your exchange.
Yep.
Once you go in your back office and you go to, you either do a pay hash, which is to keep it inside the system, or you do a pay withdrawal. If you do a withdrawal, that's just like it says, you're just withdrawing it like you're withdrawing it out of your bank account. It's the same kind of concept. So keep in mind that when you do a pay hash, we have another little trick for you, and all of you watching, I think you're going to like this. Albert, I'm going to let you tell them the good news again.
Alrighty. So basically, if you have in your commissions and your trade enough to equal whatever amount somebody wants to buy into the company, you have them set up their account, they create the hash to purchase their position, they give you the hash, and you pay for that hash with your commissions or trade, and then they give you their Bitcoin or cash. So in essence, you've just made a withdrawal because now you have the money that you've gotten from them, and you've avoided the 8% fee. So if that doesn't make sense, it's okay, because this is a new concept, right? And concepts sometimes take a repetitious amount of time to talk about. But go ahead.
You know, it's so true, Albert. You know, people need repetition sometimes to learn, and I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah.
I need that repetition myself. I am one. So, you know, us doing these videos, you have to excuse they're a little bit rough sometimes. We appreciate your patience with us, and we'll be patient with you. Albert will answer any of the questions that you may have. If you have in our Facebook group, he's very expedient on trying to answer those questions for you. Now, here's a good point too. We do have a help desk. We do have support on your back office. Over on the second one in, it actually says support, and they will answer you if you write them. Be nice. Don't write them like you're an idiot. What did you do this? Be nice, guys. Hey, you know what? You can catch a lot more flies with honey than you can salt. So be very nice to these people because we pay them, but we don't pay them enough to get you yelled at. Okay, so let's just be nice and type them in a nice little suggestion of what maybe you're having an issue with, and they will get right back to you. Albert?
When I first had a question for the help desk, I didn't know if they spoke English or anything, so I went to Google Translate and I made 3 different paragraphs of English and Spanish and Portuguese. I was trying to be helpful, and it was funny because not only did they reply back and give me 3 paragraphs of English and Spanish, which I thought was kind of cute, but they were like quick. And I was like, wow, I just sent that to you about 10 minutes ago, and they already responded like they wanted to be there. So I think that that is a huge thing that people need to not take for granted. So use the honey, man.
Yeah. And you know, it'll save a lot of time for us as leaders, for all of you leaders that are watching, and Albert. All of us are very appreciative for what you're doing. Your questions are very serious to us, and we do want to get them answered. But we want you to do your due diligence. You know, no one's twisting your arm to be in TCC, Trade Coin Club. No one's asking you or making you to do this. So you need to make the right decision to see if we're the right fit. We're being as transparent as I know how to be, without just taking my license and showing it right in front of the camera. We're licensed, we're insured. We are the very first and the very only company to ever do what we're doing today. So you are creating history by joining with us, locking arms. Our biggest thing is we're going to feed 1 million children, starving children, this year in 2017. I hope you all will join Albert, myself, and all the TCC team welcomes you to the next level. And you guys, you know what? As we say, what do we say, Albert? We'll see you at the top.
We'll see you at the top.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.